Good evening, Philippines! Now is the time for the continuation of my program and my video channel. And this is for all the citizens of the Philippines, whoever listen to this program all over the world. And we will be digging the politics because I know that you are all ready to choose the rightmost candidate for this election 2022. And I know that you are very eager to know among the 6 candidates for the president. And there are numbers of senators who had been casting their registrations for their candidacy. And I know that each of the participants are already ready to hear the result for the elections 2022. Now I will be discussing to you about the politics. Okay, I have observed that most of you are now confusing to listen all over the world who are in other countries. And I know you are focusing your attention back to the Philippines, especially in Singapore, where I am belong now here. Okay, I have heard some of co-Filipinos around in Singapore, and I have tried to investigate and ask and interrogate them who are their respective candidates for the year 2022 elections. And I'm sorry to say that what I have heard some here in Singapore when it regards to presidency, it is all, I think it's a majority, about 80% Bongbong Marcos. And I have a say why you like Bongbong Marcos. And they say, this is the time that we can recover our economy in the Philippines. As what Bongbong Marcos' fathers left when he was the president of the Philippines. And I truly believe that is true. Because I have also observed that so far, as what I have learned, the most perfect president who lead our country, I can tell you that only one person who runs the government of the Philippines that have more projects, more industries. Okay? As what I have learned also from the successor president after Marcos, like Cory, followed by other presidents. So far I have not heard or I have not witnessed the greatest project that we have founded in our nations. I remember the time of Marcos. Actually, I will tell you frankly, I am not belong to Marcos last time. I was a diehard for the Liberal Party, the Dilawan. I was a Dilawan members last time. I am a supporter. But later on, I have come up to my mind that among the government last time, the Dilawan, the Liberal Party, there's no much increase and there's no much progress in our nations. But when the time of Marcos regime, I really salute his kind of regime, how he runs the Philippines. Just remember when I was staying in Tacloban City, the first project that I have learned that being put up by President Marcos after the World War II is the longest bridge, I think, in the whole Asia. It's the San Juanico Bridge, located between Tacloban and Samar. And right now, even until now, it is the most popular bridge. Maybe all the entire world, the whole world, San Juanico Bridge is the most popular way. And there was a such time that this Dilawan, the Cory, take over his place. There was a rumor that the San Juanico Bridge will be changed to its name under Aquino's Bridge. So it's very awful, right? It is not right that the persons who put up the strength, their efforts to build up the bridge, then suddenly they have to change the name. And in fact, it is the legacy that being put up by President Marcos. Whoever the president of the Philippines that put up the longest bridge, maybe the whole entire Asia, only President Marcos. Another thing project is from Apari down to Mindanao. He connected all the islands for the highways. We call it Marcos Highway from Apari down to Sulu. It is done by Marcos. Now it is all existing. It's a highway. Is there any other president that can put up a certain project? And there is also another, like for example, the electricity, the windmills being provided by our electricity. President Marcos has been put it up somewhere in Ilocos. And it is very successful. During his time, electricity and water is very cheap. Almost given to the people because the price is very low. Just imagine that. Then, the bituka ng manok, somewhere in Samar, going to Manila, is a zigzag. It was done by President Marcos. Just imagine the great works that he has done before he left in this world. It is the legacy of President Marcos. Besides from that, there are other also buildings that Marcos has founded in the Philippines. Just for example, the Heart Center, the Kidney Center, the lungs, the hospitals, the big hospitals, and even in Tacloban City, I witnessed that he has put up a regional hospital connecting Tacloban and Samar, and it is now existing at the Cabalawan, Tacloban City. Another thing is the cultural center. This is a big project. The Ninoy International Airport last time, it was Manila International Airport. Now they changed to Ninoy International Airport. This is the project of President Marcos. Now people say that Marcos is not worthy president. Don't believe in that. You can notice, even you have to observe, you can tour all over the Philippines. Who are the president that have accomplished so many projects. Aside from bridges, highways, buildings, hospitals, electricity and water, and even transportation during his time. Can you remember the Phil Trumpo? There are numbers of bus Phil Trumpo. The Phil Trumpo is being the public transportations that is being put up by President Marcos. The railway now we are now using in Manila. These are the project of President Marcos. Just imagine how many billions of pesos that he have put up to his project in his time. And now Filipino is complaining, where are the money of the Philippines? Of course, they put up into the project. And we are using for it. If you are going to count how much is the cost of the highways from Apari down to Mindanao, the highway, you just imagine how much it costs. They have to bulldoze, they have to pay the preparations of the land, concreting, put up the electricity. The hospitals, big hospitals. How many hospitals are put up in Manila? The cultural center. Really, I believe that Marcos is really not true that he is a corrupt. It is wrong. In fact, Marcos is a good president. He helped the people a lot during his time, but only the oppositions that make troubles because they want to replace his positions because of jealousy, because of money, because of wealth. That's why they have a lot of troubles. Bombing in Manila, bombing of the Malacanang Palace, bombing of one of the churches in Manila. See, this is the work of the opposition party because of jealousy. Because they are in way of what he has done, good things for the people. You do not know this because you are not concentrating his works. Now you can realize, after he left Malacanang and exiled to Hawaii, you will know. Is there any good project being put up by that next president? Nothing. Is there any building being put up by the next president after Marcos left? Nothing. Just imagine. So please, take away your minds that had been poisoned you about corruptions. He is really not the corrupt. He is belong to a well-to-do family. The son of Mariano Marcos is well-to-do father. He is really rich, actually. But they are very humble family. Even nowadays, they are really very humble. Look at Bongbong Marcos. Even how many oppositions that had focused and damaged his propositions being the candidates of the presidency of the Philippines. But still, Bongbong, I believe, still very humble. He is not bragging. He is telling the truth. Because he and his father is more relevant in terms of heart to help the people. During the time of Marcos, there are a lot of projects, like for example, even those shells, house to house, they have the project for house to house, like for example, all the types of shells making into jewelries, necklace, bracelets. These are the projects that being produced during the time of Marcos that give the livelihood to those housewives at home that has nothing to do. So just imagine that. I think, still very young at that time. And I was one also who helped my mother to grind the shells, like to join together with the thread and make it into necklace. And There are other people that will collect all those products and they earn money. Those are the good practice. Nowadays, I cannot say anything. That's why most of our Filipino people, those talented people, especially bright one, regardless of professions, they step out of our country because the government doesn't care our professionals, our workers. In fact, if our government has helped a lot to those professionals, they will not go to the other countries to work. Now, who will benefited for all those talented genius mind of the Filipinos are all foreigners. Architects, for example, here in Singapore, Filipinos is very well known because Filipino architects here is the one that helps develop Singapore to become Singapore as you can see now at this. Most of the architects last time is Filipinos. And we are very talented actually. I do not say that I love my own. It's really true. You can see all over the world, there are a lot of architects, Filipino architects, because we are talented Filipinos. If our government taking care of our professions, our nurses, our doctors, and all those engineers and architects, well, I think Philippines will be booming. Okay? I think you can see Philippines now is one of the tourist spots in terms of building. Because Filipino is really very talented in terms of constructions and design. So just imagine, I do not want to happen this all over again. Now the recent presidents and all those government officials, I think you can only count those who have doing their job well. I think Duterte is one of the most. He also put up one of numbers of project in the Philippines before he stepped down. That is good. The rest of the president where? Where's the project? So, my dear president, brothers and sisters, if you have the mind, think about it. Who will be your next president by the year 2022? Better think it first. Think it twice. Do not be discouraged of what the people says that this is so and so. His father is a dictatorship because he put up the martial law and there are many things happen during the time because the people make revolutions. What the president do in order to control and protect the people? Is there other means? Killing here, killing there, ambush here, ambush there. So how's the people? How to protect the people? So Marcos is really very brilliant mind. He put up martial law so that he can control all the Philippines, the whole nations of the Philippines. So after he controlled, another rises again. Many complaints. See? That Marcos is a dictatorship. Actually, he is not a dictatorship. He is just doing his part to protect his people. Remember that if Marcos didn't put the martial law, I think there will be a civil war in the Philippines because you're not fighting here and there, bombing. See? So believe me or not, Marcos is the best. I don't know nowadays who can replace. But I think there's another Marcos that will be coming who will be following the footsteps of his father. Why not try him? And I believe that he is also more than talented, perhaps, than his father. Because father and son may be just only similarity, but there are differences in terms of hearts, in terms of mind, and in terms of proposed or plans for the growth, health, education, agriculture, industries all over the world so that all of us will not be scattered all over the world. And we will be going back to Philippines once the Philippines will be stable and there will be a lot of projects. We architects will be going back to serve again and help the governments. Okay? I hope that you will inculcate in your minds that don't just follow what you have heard. Because if a person's doing good, there's a lot of temptations so that his plan will not succeed. This is the work of the devil. Okay? Because the devil says, this person is very dangerous. He does the work. And I will be the loser. So he will find a way to insert that his plan, his good plans for the people will be interrupted. So remember that. Always good works, they're always a hindrance. Remember that. Anybody who has good plans in his life, someone will have to stop it and prevent it because of envy, jealousy. Okay? This is very important. Very simple thing to remember. So ladies and gentlemen, all electorals all over the world who is participating the elections by the year 2022, think about it before you have to throw your votes. You must be careful that no one can grasp to your votes. You must be careful. Do it properly and insert into the ballot box nicely that no one can grab it. Okay? Put it in your mind. Choose the right persons. I don't say anything. Who are those good presidents? Who are those good senators in the future? I didn't say anything. It is you who can recognize the best persons who can run back to put up the stability of the Philippines. Not only just by wealth, not only by power, but by heart. The most important is the heart and the mind. Because if you have a good mind and good heart, there will be a good future. Then, wealth comes out and the stress, we will be joining together for our progress. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear that in mind. And I will end up this here. And you have to, before I left, you must think it over. I will not give you who is the right persons for the next president, for the next elections, 2022. You know it. Who is those persons that we are going to put up back for the stability, for the rise of a new progressive Philippines. And I have suspected if this person will run back and hold the stability of the Philippines, 100% Philippines will rise up. And maybe in the whole world, we will lead the currency. And it will become piso now. Maybe the longest value all over the world is piso, dollars. We will be leading because we have all. We have everything in the Philippines. Name it and we have it. In the world, in other countries, they don't have this much about. We are only having it, Filipinos in the Philippines. Our nation is very rich in natural resources. No one can compare all over the world. We are rich, actually. But if we know only how to control it and use it for the people. Okay? Mark my words. If that person will win by these coming elections, Philippines will rise up and there will be a great progress. And believe me or not, we will be leading the currency all over the world. Okay? Remember that. But first of all, please support my video. Don't forget to press the button subscribe so that whenever I have a program, you can always follow up.